Many of you are tuning into talk radio for the first time all year. You've put aside baseball for 10 seconds, and you're trying to figure out who to vote for, and I'm trying to warn you to stop Obama's attack on our borders, economy, and security. And I'll take callers now, that's all. Where is she? She left, the one who was calling and saying he couldn't impose a Marxist regime. Is she here? Ann in Mississippi, welcome to the program. Go ahead, please. Ann, welcome.
I've listened several times to you, and I always hear you refer to Obama wanting to make this a Marxist, a communist, a socialist nation. Give me an example how he can do that. Congress has that power, not Obama.
Well, I guess you've been living in a vacuum for the last 2 years. He has nationalized General Motors. Are you aware of that?
Yes, and I think it was wonderful. He saved it.
Then you're arguing that you do like socialism. He nationalized health care, 1/6 of the economy. I guess you like that as well because you're a socialist. So you're saying, how can it be done when it's been done? Why don't you just say you approve of Marxism?
He's helping people, middle-class people.
Oh, wait, hold it. Ma'am, you're changing the argument. You said, how can he do it? He needs Congress to do it. He's done it. He's done it with the auto industry, and he's done it with health care. So why won't you admit that he's already turned a good portion of the economy into a Marxist economy?
With the help of Congress. He cannot do anything on his own.
Well, now you're changing the argument. You just said at the beginning he couldn't do it at all without Congress, but he just did it.
Do you want these lunatics out here to really be running our country?
Ma'am, I didn't hear what you just said. Do I think what?
Do you actually want the people that are running as a Tea Party candidate to run our country? I think y'all are going to bite off more than you.
Well, now you're changing the argument. So you acknowledge that you're a socialist. You admire Obama because he has pushed forward socialism in his first 2 years, and you want him to do more of such nationalizations. And now you're changing the argument and asking a generic question, do I want the lunatics in the Tea Party to run the country? Which lunatics in particular do you fear the most?
Sharon Angle.
Why do you fear Sharon? Why do you like Harry Reid, who was a part of the corrupt old boy network? Do you prefer that? You don't want a real woman? A real Western woman who understands what it's like to be honest? You don't want an honest, real Western woman? Why would you want Harry Reid, an old boy who was working with the old boy network? I'm kind of surprised at that.
Well, that's what the Republicans are too, so what's the difference?
But now you're changing the argument again. You know, a man defined hell as a place where there is no reason. You are actually trying to drag me into your hell. You have no reason in your head, madam.
I am a...
The minute you lose a point, you change the discussion to another point.
My point is, y'all are saying Obama is going to tear this country apart. He can't do it. He cannot do it.
He is the most divisive president the country has ever. It is because Obama is using divide and conquer as a tactic, turning black against white, Asian against white, young against old, gay against straight, old against young, young against old. He is using classic tactics of divide and conquer, Ann.
He walked into that Oval Office with all sorts of things strapped to his back.
So he inherited a deficit of how large was the deficit when he took office?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It was $1 trillion. How large is the deficit now, Ann?
Well, I know, but he's been trying to help.
Oh, wait, hold it. No, you don't. What do you mean you know? You said you didn't know. I gave you the answer. It was $1 trillion. Bush left him $1 trillion deficit, so now you know that. So what's the deficit now after 2 years of Obama?
It's astronomical. I don't know the exact number. But
well, it's $3 trillion. So your idea of the solution to a $1 trillion deficit is to raise it to $3 trillion?
Give him time. Give him
time. It'll be $10 trillion. And who is going to pay for all of these socialist programs?
I guess the American people.
Who are the American people? The poor who pay no taxes?
No.
The only people who are going to pay for this insane spending is the middle class, because the super wealthy, as you well know, evade taxes to a great extent. And so the people who are getting hammered the most, Dan, are people, perhaps your own neighbors. It's the middle class that Obama has targeted because as a Marxist, he has targeted the bourgeoisie ever since his zany college days.
But
are you yourself a member of the lower, middle, or upper class, Ann?
I'm probably now middle class.
What do you mean now? What were you before?
Before Bush took office, we were probably upper middle class. He shrunk the middle class.
Okay, so you didn't like Bush because he did what? What did Bush do that you didn't like?
I didn't like anything about him.
But you're not giving me a specific. Now you're talking about style. So you like Obama's style because what? He's good looking? Is that it?
Has nothing to do with it. I don't care about.
Well, I think I touched on a raw nerve. You didn't like Bush because he reminded you of your father, and you had some kind of abuse with the father. I can sense it. Your father, abused you when you were 11. I get it. I'm sending you a copy of Trickle Up Poverty. You can read it in the privacy of your own latrine.
Savage.